As a law enforcement officer, you play a critical role in keeping our roads safe. Drivers who are impaired due to alcohol or drugs are a clear danger to other drivers. But medical impairments may cause many of the same driving behaviors. Some health problems can create dangerous driving situations, like having restricted movement, limited vision, or impaired thinking abilities. While working, you may encounter a person at a traffic stop or crash site that causes you concern about their ability to safely operate a vehicle. It is important to know how to handle those situations and recognize any physical or cognitive issues a driver might have. It was estimated that in 2017, 20% of Florida's population was over the age of 65, and that number will continue to increase. By 2030, it is estimated 24% of Florida's population will be over the age of 65. With robust tourism and thousands of seasonal residents, there are also an increased number of older adults who travel from out of state to Florida. While the majority of older drivers are safe and healthy, medical conditions which may increase the risk of unsafe driving are more common in older adults. Knowing what to do when you encounter a driver who may be at risk is a very important part of being a law enforcement officer in Florida. This driver is trying to check for traffic before making a turn, but she is having difficulty moving her head. She thinks she has a clear path, but doesn't see the car coming from the right. If you stop a driver for this type of infraction, looking beyond the infraction might lead you to a physical condition that impacts the violator's ability to drive. Some medical conditions can lead to loss of sensation in the hands or feet. This driver cannot sense when his foot hits the brake pedal. Lack of sensation causes his foot to slip from the brake and makes a simple stop sign a stressful situation. Some drivers with limited mobility can continue to drive safely with adaptive equipment in their vehicle or with the help of a driving rehabilitation specialist. Most states require that restrictions be noted on the licenses of drivers who need vehicle modifications to drive safely. In Florida, license restrictions are noted with a letter designation on the front of the license, and the description of the restriction is listed on the back, such as A for corrective lenses, J for steering wheel grip, or M for mechanical aids. If you encounter a driver who should be using a modified vehicle, for example, someone missing a limb, but who does not have the proper equipment installed, that driver might need to be re-examined. Drivers with changes in their vision may also have problems on the road. Some eye disorders limit a driver's ability to see in low contrast situations. A pedestrian wearing dark clothes on a shadowy street might become invisible, and a driver with impaired vision may not see them in time to respond and avoid injury. Other eye disorders can make vision dull and blurry, cause problems with peripheral vision, or make sun glare or oncoming headlights difficult to manage. If you encounter a driver who appears to have vision problems, a licensing and medical review may be in order. Health problems that limit clear thinking and short-term memory, such as Alzheimer's disease or other dementia, will make driving unsafe. Medication side effects can also cause behaviors which look just like dementia. Some drivers may unconsciously disobey the most basic rules of the road. A driver who is confused about where he is can be unpredictable to other drivers, causing dangerous situations on the road. When making a traffic stop, look for signs that the person may be a medically at-risk driver.
Good morning, sir.
Hi.
Do you know why I stopped you?
Stop. No.
Does the driver understand what laws he ignored?
Okay, well, you ran the stop sign back there when you made that left-hand turn at the intersection.
Was anybody hurt?
No, sir, nobody was hurt. Do you have your driver's license, registration, and proof of insurance with you?
Does the driver seem confused when following your instructions? Do the driver's answers make sense?
My wallet. I bet it's in my wallet. My wife usually handles things like this. Here.
Okay, thank you, sir. Unfortunately, this is not your driver's license. This is a library card.
Look for other clues that the driver may be having memory problems or other problems thinking and understanding.
Okay, do you know what day of the week it is?
March
Okay, no, sir. Tell you
1st.
what,
March 1st. Why did you stop me?
I stopped you for running the stop sign back there at the intersection.
Today?
Yes, sir, today. Sir, tell you what, do you have somebody, family, friends that live nearby here that we could contact?
My daughter.
Your daughter
My
lives
daughter
near?
lives here.
Okay.
Consider what you would do if you encounter a driver who is not mentally clear enough to continue on his or her journey. Would you call someone to pick up the driver, like a family member or caregiver? Would you contact a local social service agency? Be familiar with the policies and procedures in your department and the local resources you can contact. You can work with your agency's communications center to find community resources. Florida's Guide for Aging Drivers contains information on services available in all Florida counties. Your dispatcher can recommend which agency to contact. Another great resource available is the Safe Mobility for Life website, safemobilityfl.com, which provides a wealth of information on how to stay safe and mobile for life.
Yes, ma'am.
Do your best to engage the driver to determine what issues or impairments they might have. There is a system in Florida that can assist you in evaluating drivers and determining if they can safely drive. Section 322.126 Florida statutes provides that any physician, person, or agency having knowledge of any licensed driver's or applicant's mental or physical disability to drive is authorized to report such knowledge to the Department of Highway Safety and Motor Vehicles. Drivers can be recommended to the DHSMV for re-examination in 3 ways: by submitting a DHSMV medical referral form, by checking the driver re-examine box on the Florida Crash Report, or through the DAVID system, the Driver and Vehicle Information Database. The DHSMV Medical Referral Form number 72190 can be used by anyone to report a driver for evaluation by the department. Family, caregivers, and friends commonly use this form. The form can be downloaded from the DHSMV website or at safemobilityfl.com. If you are filling out a Florida Crash Report, there is a section of the form where you can check Re-Examine and note the condition at the time of crash. Include as many details as you can here to help the evaluators in their assessment of the driver. The DAVID system allows you to easily request a re-examination or medical review of the driver. Click on Report Driver for Medical Review or Re-Exam from the Record Detail page. This will repopulate the driver's information on the form. Check off all medical conditions that apply and provide a brief description of any behavior observed as it relates to the reason the driver is being reported. The DHSMV will take care of the retesting. When you write a referral for medical or licensing review, this does not mean the driver will have their license revoked. It means they will be examined by professionals who will determine if it is safe for them to continue to drive. When filling out a request for re-examination, be specific about your concerns and explain in detail the behaviors you observed. This written description of the problem behavior will not only help the department to implement the right testing, but it will also help drivers and their families better understand their risk. When DHSMV receives a referral for re-examination, it will go through a process to determine what type of re-examination is recommended. Sometimes only a license re-exam will be required. Sometimes a medical review will need to be done. Most older drivers are safe drivers, but people with ongoing or progressive health problems can be a risk to themselves and others on the road. Medical and license review referrals are one more tool in your law enforcement toolbox that you can use to help keep all drivers safe and mobile.